right, we're here at course number 3, Shore Acres, just south of Holland. This will be our Sunday course.
Also known as Felt Mansion.
Felt Mansion as well,
or
yeah.
Just Felt.
Yep, so a couple different names, but this will be our third course, our final course, our championship course. And as you can hear already, and what we said last week on last week's episode, it's quite windy out here compared to everywhere else.
Yeah,
It's
definitely the windiest of the 3 courses. We're right on the shores of Lake Michigan. Over that tree line behind us is Lake Michigan. During the summer, if you're playing a tournament, you can often hear boats out on the lake. So it's very open to the wind for sure. And it's going to be our medium par. So there are 2 par 4s on this course. And we're playing all 24 holes. So tournament layout, black 24. It's going to be a par 74 altogether.
So we'll show you a couple of the alternates. One of the new pin placements for this year, which will be in effect for the tournament on hole 6. And then we'll wrap up the show. So good luck to us, and we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Okay, hole 1A. This is the first alternate that we're going to come to. It's right in between hole 1 and hole 2. This is a temporary alt location since we had our original A hole taken away from us. So you can see it's just down the hill here, right in front of that fire hydrant. We're standing about 50 feet in front of the tee pad so that we can see over the hill. It's a blind shot from the tee pad, about 240 feet. So hopefully a little pig dump and the wind won't take it too much. And this road is going to be OB, so shouldn't be hard to keep it on this side of the road. We're teeing off from the road, so it's going to take a really bad shot to be OB on this one. I might have juiced that one. That might be a little far.
All right, so Josh went backhand. I'm gonna go forehand. It's really the same shot, kind of dealer's choice. Just plop it in there, and we'll see how it goes. This wind makes this shot a little squirrely. We'll see.
So as you can see, it was easy to juice this one. Even the pig was a little too much with that wind carrying it. So I'm probably 40, 45 feet out. So we'll see if we can clean this up. Stress-free par.
All right, so I got a little bit closer than Josh, but I've still got a tester from about 30, 32 feet here. So with this wind, it's not a gimme by any means, but we've got to look for the birdie. Second player is always better. But yeah, stress-free par, I guess. All right, hole 6 black, brand new location here this year at Shore Acres, 182 feet. Up the 45-degree slope, halfway up the slope, so very precarious green, heavily guarded by a lot of thick trees. Definitely some chance at rollaway here, so I'm gonna take a direct forehand line at it with the zone. I'm gonna throw a little bit more overstable with a Raptor, a little bit wider left, and see what we can get out of it. All right, so the direct line worked out pretty well. See if we can get an ace run with the wide left. Pretty close, but both of those lines were very viable. We'll see what Josh does for you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna try the backhand turnover, probably on both shots. I'd love to try the forehand. I just don't think that my forehand's got the accuracy at that distance. So first I'm gonna go buzz SS, pretty wide line, and just slowly turning into the basket. Horrible shot. Don't try that at home, kids. Let's try a Z Glow Flex Buzz. Try to trust it a little more than I trusted that Buzz SS. Yeah, stress-free power. Okay, so my backhand turnover landed me about, what do you think, 28 feet, just inside circle probably.
Yeah.
So that's about the best I could do with a backhand. Like Jake was saying, that backhand turnover is going to generate the wrong kind of spin coming up this hill. Most of mine end up hitting a tree and kicking way down the hill. So this is good enough for me. Stress-free par at least, but I'm happy to have a look at it. And actually, I'm going to make this easy birdie.
Player 2, baby.
Yeah, player 2.
All right, so both the forehand looks got me 15 feet or less. The zone was even closer. Don't even need a putter. Definitely recommend a forehand on this shot if you've got it.
Okay, hole B. After hole 15, we come to B and we'll play 3 of the alts before getting back to 16. I say this every time we step up to this hole, and I'll continue saying it. Out of all 6 of the alts at Shore Acres, this is the most difficult one to birdie. So there's a smart play to try to play for par, and then there's going for it where you'll probably still end up with a par. It's not a bogey or double bogey hole usually, but it certainly can be. But if you want this birdie, you have to have a pretty pristine shot. So 240 again, just like a couple of the holes we've seen out here. This time it's uphill, way to the left. So there's some trees about 200, 220 down that you want to hook around to the left and make a sharp left turn. I'm going to go with my flip up Leopard 3 first, and then I'll try a Raptor, which is not really a Raptor, up the middle and see if that one can get around those trees. Hopefully this Leopard will get there. Not that way. Yeah, so lots of trees on left or right. You really want to be in the middle on this one. You really don't want to be off to the side, either side. There is a fence on the right that's OB, so you definitely don't want to kick right. So here goes the not Raptor. There's those Guardians on the corner, making for a pretty stress-free par. You will see probably 90% of the people playing this hole hit that grouping of trees.
All right, so Josh showed you up the middle type plays. There is this skinny little line on the left. If you can see the bike path sign kind of sticking on the ground, it's a brown sign. That kind of shows you a left-hand line which bends left to right slowly. It's really tight, but it does have potential to get you up there in a cleaner way than the normal fairway if you've got the power on a righty forehand or a lefty backhand to get maybe a flare skip moving that direction. So I'm going to try it with the Nuke OS, see if we can give you guys a good example of getting all the way to circle 2. Or closer. Alright, so that got way up there. We're probably putting from the edge of circle 1 would be my suspicion. But it's a viable option if you've got that shot. I'm going to throw one more. We're going to go the traditional line with a UV scorch. Try and just push it on a hyzer forward a little bit high up and let it move to the left. So once again, like Josh said, that's not a bad shot, just like his not so Raptor was. But those Guardian trees just gobble up 90% of the stuff. So yes, it was a good throw, but it hit the Guardian trees and it's still pretty much a guaranteed par from there.
Okay, so this is where the Leopard 3 landed. Still not bad. I actually have a straight look at it. Probably 120, 130 feet straight shot. But I'll take that Raptor. Again, that's where 90% of them are going to filter to. and that's a pretty common landing zone. So let's go throw that one. So here's the guardian trees we're trying to miss, right here to my left. And this, anywhere in here is going to be just fine for a pretty stress-free par. Although again, the wind's picking up, so the stress goes up a little bit maybe, but this really shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, and she almost kicked in. So there you go, another stress-free par. This is one of the only alts where I'm not going to be disappointed with a par.
Alright, so that's kind of the line it came through on a flare skip. The Nuco S got all the way to here. We're sitting here right at circle's edge. Probably right at 33 feet. So let's see if we can steal a birdie. Some change, but no birdie. We'll take a par though. There's nothing wrong with that, like Josh said on this hole. Alright, so this is Alt C. Dead straight, slightly downhill, tight tunnel. The thick trees on both sides of the tunnel. 203 feet. Really plays less than that, to be honest. But you just want to push something straight and not too high and let it ride up there. There's a play to run the basket, obviously. The smart play for birdie is to kind of aim short of the basket and let it skip and slide in. So I'm going to throw two of the same shot at it with some jawbreaker zones. We'll see what we can get. Alright, so that was a little high and it touched one tree, and now I'm probably 100 feet right. Thought I made the adjustment, touched the same tree, and now I'm about 80 feet left. So as you can see, stay in the fairway.
Okay, so I'm going to try one air shot with a Mako 3, trying to just keep it maybe turn softly for a second, but pretty straight shot. And then I'll show you the putter shot, aiming halfway up the fairway at the ground and letting it scoot up. See if either one of them work. One of the easiest alts, but certainly don't take it for granted. Like Jake said and like Jake demonstrated, it's very easy to get way off the fairway. It's okay. Also super short, but clean in the middle, in the fairway. We've got to look. How did he even make it here? Can you see the tee pad? But he's got to look.
Alright, so my first one that kicked right of the fairway shot almost over to 17's fairway, and it was in complete jail, probably a bogey. This one that kicked to the left actually has some semblance of a fluffy look and should be a guaranteed par. So we'll give it a chance and see what happens here. Hit the last tree, but even with that roll, I think that's going to be pretty easy par.
So neither one of mine got as far as I wanted them to get, but nice clean looks. Both of them landed in the fairway, didn't hit any trees. So here we've got about 30 feet for our birdie on hole C. Let's see if we can clean it up. Apparently we can't. Par it is. Okay, hole D. This is 240 feet. Not the hardest alt. but certainly not the easiest. So you can see we've got a pretty good gap to hit. It's gonna push almost to that wide tree at the end, and then hook left just about 20 feet. So 240 feet, you might think I'm gonna throw it mid-range because that's the distance. With the wind and the tight gap, I'm actually gonna go controlled driver. I'm gonna go leopard 3 and try to flip it up a little bit down that gap, hopefully on the left side of that tree, and coast it right down to the green. Yeah, a lot straighter than I wanted it to go, but that'll do. Now I'm going to try and just show you all the way. I'm going to try to pull it in. I'll try a Mako 3. It's a similar shot shape, just a little floatier, and probably a little more squirrely in this wind, but we'll see. Got lucky, but that's a stress-free car on either one of those two discs.
Alright, so even in this wind, I'm going to go mid-range on the backhand just because I need to guarantee that I'm going to hit a gap. Still might not hit the gap, but we're going to try. But like Josh said, that tree, that little skinny tree in the middle is the one you got to miss. If you can miss that tree, you're generally going to be in a good spot. Not in a good spot. The other option is to throw a forehand roller, try and get skinny within this skinny gap. So let's try that one. Too much cut, but you can kind of see the idea. It is a viable play once in a while, especially to keep it out of the wind as well. So we'll see where these shots ended up, and we'll finish the hole. Alright, so even with hitting that middle tree, I kicked straight right into a pretty wide open spot, and I've got a clean look at an upshot here. So par is still very much in play, even maybe a lucky birdie with a throw-in, which is what we're going to try and do. Alright, so it turned into an upshot, not a throw-in, but still an easy putt for par.
So definitely a lot straighter than we wanted it. It would have been nice if it would have faded toward the basket, but really this isn't so bad. It's nice and open right here, pin high. So got a really good look at a birdie here. There we go. Birdies, baby. You got to get a few of these alts if you want to have a chance.